Hello everybody, hope you are well. Welcome to this week's live training. It is beginning of September. Oh, that went quick. So today's training was voted for as SEO tips. So SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. Excuse any noise in the background, the kids are still off school. So Search Engine Optimization, and you guys wanted tips this week on how to improve your SEO. I think the first thing to say about SEO is that, hi Amy, the first thing to say about SEO is that it's not a dark art, it's not magic, it's not as intimidating as it sounds. So if you're relatively new to marketing, or you haven't, like me, done a Google course and got accredited and stuff like that, it's okay. You don't actually need any of that stuff. All you need to understand is the basic principles for SEO. Now with SEO, what we're trying to do essentially is prove to Google that people want to be on your website, that people want to consume your content. And with Google, there are other search engines like Bing, for example. Back in the day, we had Ask Jeeves and all that kind of stuff. But essentially what Google is it's a massive indexing system. So it looks at every single page that's ever been uploaded to the World Wide Web, and it decides what it returns when you do a search. So when your customer goes in and searches for music classes for my baby, for example, in Surrey, Google basically does a humongous scan of what's available using keywords, and it returns the results based on, you know, some keywords that the potential customers put into the Google engine. So it's not magic. It seems magic. It seems very intimidating, but actually it's really not at all. So in everything that you do, if you have SEO in mind, when you are creating content, posting on social media, linking things to your website, for example, if you just always have SEO in mind and how can this help somebody find me, then actually you're doing the best kind of SEO that you possibly can already. It's about being mindful of whatever you do on the internet helps Google to drive people back towards you. That's it, really. That's the key to being successful with SEO. So I've got some tips for you specifically. And in terms of proving to Google that people want to be on your site, excuse me, it's about diverting traffic. It's about trying to be in as many different places as possible where there is a lot of people gathering already, which is why social media is fabulous for SEO, really, because you already have a high volume of people that can find your content and click on it and drive back to your website. So search is really driven quite largely now from social media content, which is fabulous. Another place, and this is kind of probably tip number one really, another place where you can really help yourself with SEO is using third-party directories, particularly if you're an activity business or a service business, that you can go out and list on things like Yale.com. If you're in the children's industry, you know, Happity, Club Hub, Bumped Baby, all of those directories are going to basically help you to have a listing on a different website that's hopefully high traffic. Places like Club Hub and Happity, for example, they're really high traffic. So if you've got a listing on that website and you've got people hitting that listing, then when people search for your business or search for something about your business, then actually those pages are going to be returned as well as your own website. So that's why the directories are actually very, very helpful. So any kind of, particularly if you're in the service industry, any kind of directory listings will massively help you out. Now, if you're a franchisor, you need to get your franchise, your main business listed. If you've got franchisees, you need to get your franchisees listing on as many as possible as well. It's okay to have multiple listings as long as it's clear that you're different businesses. So, you know, Daisy First Aid Red Hill is separate to Daisy First Aid Woking, for example. So directories is a really good strategy because they get a lot of traffic already to those directory sites. What's happening is Google's going, high traffic site that links to this other site. And so what it does is this other site is your site and it boosts your site through the rankings too. So that's how the magic happens. Another really good thing to do to help your SEO strategy is to think, like I said, about the content that you're creating and literally litter it with keywords. Now, keywords help Google. So if I search for cleanup services in Red Hill, or cleaning services, for example, or if I search for baby classes, you know, whatever it is that I'm searching for, what Google does is it takes those keywords and it goes and tries to find them on other pages. So if you make really good use of keywords throughout your content, it's going to pull your content up as well. So things like, you know, your longer form social media posts where you've written about, you know, I don't know, for example, this week, Daisy First Aid wrote about head injuries, or a deep, detailed explanation about, you know, why babies need sensory input from a young age, you know, all those kind of things. Okay, they're all keywords. So make sure that when you're writing your content for your social media to keep your visibility up, that you're including those keywords where you can. It has to make sense though, so you cannot literally just write a whole list of keywords. That doesn't really work. The keywords have to be relevant and they have to be in context. So you're going to have a little think about what you're writing, and how that can help to drive people to your website via SEO. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3, if you're in control of your website, make sure that you go in and when you create a page that you edit the metadata. Okay, the metadata is basically the stuff that sits behind the page. So you've got your kind of forward facing page that your customers or potential customers can see. Then you've got the back of that page. And the back of that page is kind of all the threads that help pull things together and push them to search engines like Google. So if you're in control of it, make sure that you go in and edit the metadata. Very often, companies that are struggling with SEO and visibility through search engines, they haven't optimized their metadata. Now, metadata allows you to put in keywords, like literally a list of keywords. It allows you to put in titles and page names. So you can put keywords into page names, and you can literally just write a long list of keywords in that part. That's going to help Google find you. Also, the page description. So if you've ever searched on Google, for example, and you've seen like a listing with like a heading and then some text underneath, that text underneath, that's your page description. So you can edit that. You're in full control of that. And again, if you can get the keywords in there, that's going to help your search engine optimization too. There's lots of stuff that you can do. Another tip, particularly around kind of websites in general, is if you're going to use images, Google can't see the image, obviously, and for accessibility reasons you should do this as well, but make sure that you give your images the correct names. So name them correctly and use the alt tags. Okay, alt tags, what they do is they help to tell Google and anyone who cannot see that, if they're visibility impaired, for example, helps them to understand what the image is about. But again, it massively helps your search rankings if your images are alt tagged, because it gives you another place where you can put keywords. So these keywords are honestly so important. And then the final bit that I'm going to end on in terms of tips is Google My Business. Google My Business. I talk about this a lot in a lot of different trainings, and the reason I do that is because it's so powerful. So Google really, really has got a fantastic support package for helping local businesses be visible within their local areas. Big part of that is Google My Business. So as a business, you can set up a Google My Business listing anywhere in the world. This is not a UK thing. This is global, obviously. Search is always global. And what you can do with that is you can again put your keywords in, your description about your company, and make sure that's loaded with keywords. You can have a link directly to your website or your web page if you're a franchisee. So it massively helps, and it sits on the right hand side of Google. So again, it's an organic listing, you know, it's there, it's for free, it's a huge listing, it can't be missed. You can add pictures to it so that you can show, you know, on that front page of Google, it's almost like having a mini website page on the front of Google when people search for your company, or your particular business name. So you can show pictures of what the customer experience is like. You can put videos on there now as well, so you can literally show what customer experience you're giving. You can put descriptions of your business, links, as I said, contact phone number. You can also upload posts. So I'd recommend, if you're going to use Google My Business correctly to help with your SEO, that you're uploading at least 2 posts a week. And in those posts, again, you can have a direct link to your website. Now, you'll be surprised at how many views those Google My Business page listings get. They're huge, absolutely huge, and they're completely free. Another part of Google that will massively help you to be visible within the search engine rankings is using maps. Okay, so make sure, particularly if you're a franchise location, that you've tagged yourself on Google Maps, so that Google Maps knows where your business is. That happens as part of your Google My Business listing as well, if you use it correctly. And with the maps, another thing that massively helps you is reviews. So if you're not already collecting customer reviews through Google, you need to be. Okay, if you do nothing else from what I've kind of given you as guidance on this training video, start collecting reviews through Google My Business. It's so easy, but also it's so important, because what it does is it bumps you up the map listing. So on Google page, you've kind of got some ads that are there, you've got a map that's there, and some organic listings, and your Google My Business listing. So as well as your Google My Business listing and your organic listings, you'll be above the organic listings with the map. Now, whoever has the most ratings, the most stars, the most reviews within kind of your area, that's who gets to the top of the map. And very often, because it's a visual thing on that Google front page, people don't tend to go too far past the map. Okay, they look at that as legitimacy. It's social proof. So make sure that you've got your Google reviews. And to a point, I'd actually say don't worry about the Facebook reviews. Make sure that you've got the Google reviews coming in, because that's going to help your business so much more than having reviews on Facebook. So if you've got to pick one or the other, if you can't do both, pick Google, because it will massively, massively help your rankings. Another thing that's also probably quite important to call out, particularly more for franchisors for this one, but is the importance of having a central booking system on your website. If you're trying to drive traffic to your web page or your website, but your booking system is hosted on another third-party website, the problem is you are going to have people coming over here to book and over here to view, or over here to view and then over here to book. So not only are you making your customer journey a little bit more convoluted, a bit more difficult with more dropout points, what you're also doing is you're losing traffic to your booking website. So the importance of having a central booking system where it's all integrated, even if it's a third party, but it's integrated into your website, the importance of that is keeping the traffic in one place. So you've got kind of 100% power beam to one place, rather than having a bit over here and a bit over here. It makes a huge, huge difference. It really does. And the other thing to think about as well within the booking system is, if you do use a third party like Bookwhen, for example, or Booking Hound, or any of those ones, make sure that again you've optimized your booking page that your customers see back for your SEO as well. So we kind of come full circle in this. Make sure that you've got your business named correctly. Make sure that you've got links to your page correctly. Make sure you've got the description there correctly, because again, it's a third party site that's going to be highly trafficked, that will appear and help you in the search rankings when somebody Googles your page. So those are my SEO tips. If you've got any questions on any of those, drop me a message. Just drop me a message on the Facebook group, or drop me a DM, or drop me an email, hello@staceycan.com. And I'll be able to answer your questions. That's the whole point of the training. So yeah, let me know if you've got any questions. If you've got franchisees or other franchise friends that you think would benefit from watching this, bring them to the group. That's exactly what the group's for. It's a learning group. So please do bring them in. That's it from me. I will be back next week, back on a Thursday next week, because the holiday won't have interrupted everything. And I'll see you then. Take care.